Coffee with the Editor is proudly brought to you by IRZ and the Naledi Group of companies, which includes Naledi Ring Rollers, Composite Brake Components, and Naledi Foundries. Greg, thank you for taking the time to join me for Coffee with the Editor this morning.
Thank you for the cup of coffee.
My pleasure. We're going to do things a little differently to how we normally do Coffee with the Editor, because we're talking something old, very old.
We are indeed.
Heritage is something that's quite prominent, certainly in the South African rail environment, and I think globally it's you've got many rail enthusiasts who are absolutely madly in love with steam trains, and they are beautiful. But for this particular one, we're talking specifically Susan, who is celebrating her 100th birthday this year, and you're going to tell me all about it.
Yes, we're very proud of Susan, the fact that she's a 100-year-old lady. There's not a lot of 100-year-old ladies around that are still working as hard as Susan does, and she's been serving Reef Steamers for a very long time. So she's been in our care for quite a number of years, and still one of our main steam engines that we use on our trips on a daily basis. So she's very active, she's in very good shape, and we hope to keep her around for another 100 years.
So give me like a little bit of history. So in the press release I picked up that Susan arrived in South Africa in 1919.
Yes, she was a second batch of locomotives in the similar 12 class to be delivered to South Africa. They were changed a little bit to make her a bit stronger, and they were initially sent, according to my information, to Witbank to haul coals around. So they built these ladies especially to work quite hard on the Witbank Joburg line and beyond that, to actually move the coal trains up and down. So she's used to working quite hard and pulling quite a big load, and so that's what she's doing at the moment for us, is as the main attraction for her.
So how many trips are you guys doing this year with Susan?
We'll do most of we can.
Okay.
Yeah, we fixed it up last year and the year before last. We spent quite a lot of time redoing the loco. We did the boiler tubes and all the necessary maintenance that we had to do, so we prepared her quite well for the 100-year celebration. So unless anything major happens, she'll be around for most of our trips this year, so the public will be able to see her operating most of the time out of Joburg.
Is she going to have like a special birthday?
Yes, we are planning a very special birthday in July for her. We just are finalizing the date, but we will have a very special trip down to Heidelberg, and then that'll be her official birthday that we've given her, will be in July, a trip down to Heidelberg. Yeah.
So she's a class 12 AR?
AR, yeah.
Okay. And she, in her restoration and bringing her back to work, this was all done at the Reef Steamers facility?
Most of the work was done at the Reef Steamers. She's been around for a while, so she was mothballed at one stage, and then sent to Reef Steamers about 15 years ago. And then they started the restoration process of preserving her and getting her back into running orders. And so she's been active for quite a long time.
So tell me about what else Reef Steamers does.
We are a non-profit organization that is mainly tasked with making sure the future generation has access to steam locomotives. You said in your opening, there's quite a nostalgia about steam locomotives. They were actually very well built. They are being built to run for a very long time. I think we prematurely in South Africa got rid of our steam, and so a lot of these steam locomotives are still able to run for a very long time. And there's something really special about somebody interacting or seeing a steam locomotive, smelling the steam, smelling the smoke. There's something really different about the interaction with a steam train than just a normal electric train or a...
Reef Steamers relies solely on donations or corporate sponsorship?
Yes, we do. We're fortunate that our main form of income is ticket sales. So we do have an asset that we can use. So about 80% of our income will come out of the public supporting us through the buying of tickets and actually enjoying a steam experience with us. And then we also do have donations and corporate sponsorships that assist us with making sure that we can keep this organization running. It is a non-profit. We have 2 full-time employees, the rest are all volunteers, that from the driving of the steam locomotives to the fixing of the steam locomotives and the maintaining and crewing the trains on the weekend are all volunteers, because of their love for steam, that give up their time to make sure we're able to provide this beautiful experience to people.
And you guys still struggle, I think, a little bit with the skills around the maintenance of these beauties.
Yes, these things are skill dependent. We need artisans and people who understand how locomotives operate to be able to fix them. It's big, heavy work, it's heavy moving work. And one wheel might weigh 8 tons. It's not an easy thing to change an 8-ton wheel. So there's heavy lifting involved, a lot of engineering involved, a lot of skill involved. And those skills, unfortunately, in this country are starting to disappear. So finding new people with those skills becomes a lot more difficult. So we depend a lot on the people whom we have to make sure that we keep them there, because if without these skills, we will really struggle to keep these locomotives running.
So aside from the Heidelberg trip that you do, which other trips do you have?
We have a regular trip to Irene. So we leave from Rhodesville Station conveniently, so people can use the Gautrain to connect with us. We go to Irene, and then at Irene, the passengers normally spend some time either at the Irene farm or at the Big Red Barn, which is quite a nice experience for them, and we bring them back. And then we've also introduced recently what we call our Picnic Express, very specifically for the families and the kids. And it allows the kids to go on a short journey to the depot and then to experience where Josie's own steam train sleeps at night, and how we look after her, and how we make sure that she stays functional. So that's a very unique experience that families are able to enjoy with us, to actually have a picnic inside the depot.
How many steam trains do you have at Reefsteamers?
It's about 25, I think, under our curatorship, of which there are 3 that will be operational. So the majority of them are good spectator value, but the cost of repair will be quite a lot. It's not that they cannot be repaired, but simply the cost of repair is quite a lot. We also have one of the only what we call 25 condensers that were specially built for the railways in the 60s to run between the R and Kimberley. I think there's only 2 left in the country, of which one is now stationary at Reefsteamers. So we do have a selection of unique locomotives that we look after and preserve, and then 3 of them we are getting into operational ability.
So what does the rest of the fleet consist of?
So the 2 operational locomotives that we are busy fixing up is the Class 15F, which was one of the flagship locomotives of the railways for many years. Lots of steam enthusiasts would recognize her by her unique beat. So she was very popular, and still today probably the most popular locomotive that steam enthusiasts like to photograph. So we have a 15F called Vreni that is with us, and then we have a Class 15CA, which is an American built, one of the few American built locomotives that South African Railways imported. She will also be operational this year. Big, strong, very unique to the American type of locomotives, and also quite popular with steam enthusiasts.
Greg, how do people get involved with the Reefsteamers to either volunteer their skills or their time, or from a cash point of view?
Okay, so we're always looking for new people, because it's a volunteer-based organization. Skills are very important. So from people driving the train, the firemen, to the people that repair the steam locomotives, we're always looking for volunteers. So if you have a love for steam locomotives and you feel like you want to drive a locomotive one day, well then Reefsteamers is the place to be. Or if you feel you have specific skills in the engineering field, electrical field, that you want to lend to us, then Reefsteamers was always looking for people that are engineering in mind, and artisans that can assist us with repair.
And this is done free of charge.
This is done free,
no salary.
No salary. We're volunteer, but we're also looking for people just to work on the train. So people who are train managers, safety managers, coach controllers, PR people that just work in a kitchen and serve coffee. So there's a lot of assistance that we need across the board. From a volunteer point of view. Without the volunteers, this organization wouldn't exist. It's really dependent on volunteers. And then from corporate point of view, corporates want to ensure, I think heritage is something that is forever. And if your money is going to ensure that something remains forever, it's always a legacy that you keep. So if you have your social investment allowances or monies that you want to invest every year, I think Reefsteamers is a real worthwhile cause that leaves a legacy for your organization if you really want to invest in something that's going to be around for a long time.
Well, Greg, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for the coffee, and please make sure you ride my train.